Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Happy Friday. Happy summer solstice. Um, so I wanted to share on top of the Find Your Light Friday reading. I wanted to share a little bit about what's coming through for me around the energies of this solstice, and that is renewal and really getting back to yourself and coming back to what is right for you and noticing where it is that you have maybe been waiting around for other people to tell you, oh yeah, here's permission, or yep, that's okay, or waiting for signs um, that are supposed to be pointing you in the direction that you're supposed to be going. And I say this from experience. I used to be one of those people who was like, give me a sign. And then like the sign would show up and I'm like, oh no, give me another one. Am I really supposed to do this? Give me another one and another one and another one. And I was actively choosing to remain where I was. I was actively choosing to remain unhappy. I was actually choosing to, you know, ignore these things. And not even ignore them, just kind of like not take action on it, right? And, there came a time for me where I was like, okay, fucking enough is enough. But it's time. It's really time to stop living in that cycle and to start doing more of what it is that you want for your life, right? Because this is it. Like, there's no like, oh, I wish I was living my dream life, or that's what my dream life looks like. There's no like alternative to this experience we're having right now. Um, it's not like suddenly we're gonna be, teleported into this like new reality or this new life. Like, you have to actually create it. And that's how it happens. That's why the people who are living their dream lives are living their dream lives, because they fucking created it, right? It didn't just kind of like fall into their laps. We are the creators. So think about that. So, um, it's perfect, actually. Obviously, the card that we received is the High Priestess. So, I don't even know if I have to say anymore, right? So, here's the thing. If you are waiting for the validation, if you're waiting for the permission, the High Priestess is your reminder, is your sign to stop waiting. The High Priestess knows, she knows what is right for her. And the High Priestess isn't just about women, right? But the High Priestess is that feminine energy, right? And this energy is all about tuning in, connecting with that internal GPS that you have, connecting with your intuition, especially when you're moving into making new choices or new habits or whatever it is that you're finally stepping up into. And ask yourself, does this feel good? Does this feel right? Because a lot of the time, we come back to, does this make sense? Is this logical? Right? And so when we're making the right choices for us, right? Because there's like no wrong choice. It's just the choices that we make. So when we're making choices in our lives, we oftentimes go back to, does this make sense? Like, is this logical? Okay, well, that job is paying more than that job, even though I really like this one better, but I'm going to take the other one because it pays more. Right? And so we make those choices. And let's say we take the job that pays more. Well, like, and then we're more stressed out and we hate it. And we're like, fuck, I wish I would have taken that other job because I really liked it and it wasn't gonna be as stressful. It's a learning experience. And that is how we come back to the knowledge that we already know the answer. We already have the correct answer. Like, and I'm not saying don't use your logic. That's not what this is about. What I am saying is sometimes the right choice isn't gonna be what seems logical. Sometimes we make a pro con list and we're like, well, you know, sometimes that's not where the answer that is the most right for you lies, you know? And again, it's not because like the other choice is wrong. It's not because listening to your logic over listening to your intuition is, wrong or whatever. No. But we have to come back to, okay, am I making this choice because it feels good? Like it feels intuitively correct to me. Like it feels intuitively aligned to what I want and where I'm going. Or am I making this choice because I wrote a pro con list and that had the most pros? We've all done that. We've all done things where we're like, oh, well, this makes the most logical sense. Even though I like that one more, like this one just makes more sense. And then we get into it and we're like, man, I wonder what would have happened if I would have made that other choice. If I wasn't so stressed out in this one, like what would be happening if I had made that other choice, right? And so I'm like rocking the camera back and forth. So really, it's just about being intentional and in tune with what is good for you. Okay? So where in your life have you made choices where you weren't listening to you? You made choices because you allowed other people to influence you, or you allowed other situations to influence you. So take a look at how often you rely on validation, approval, permission from others. How often you rely on your logic, and how often you rely on what feels good in your intuition. But also, the second part to that is, how do you feel about intuition? Because a lot of us are like, oh, intuition, whatever, and we dismiss that. So what is your relationship to your intuition? Some people had grown up believing that, intuition was wrong and like, that it wasn't something we were supposed to be using, that it's like the devil or whatever. So recognize what your relationship to your intuition is. What are your beliefs around your intuition? Okay. Do you have a connection to your intuition? And the thing is that we never lose our connection to our intuition. That's not how it works. But it gets quieter. It gets a little bit weaker. We can't hear it as well. Think of it like a muscle. You're going to the gym and you're like working out and working out and working out. Your muscles are getting bigger and stronger, whatever, right? And then you stop doing that. And then you notice like, oh yeah, my physique is really changing now. Like my muscles are not as strong and like they're not as defined and like, getting a little bit weaker maybe, right? So it's not that it ever goes away. Like it's not atrophying. It doesn't not exist. You just can't hear it. You just, it's like it's buried under all of that stuff. So don't feel like, oh, I don't have intuition. I don't have connection to my intuition. Yes, you do. But it's just about how can I utilize that. And I use my intuition on the daily. And this is what I tell my students. This is what I've told clients. If you really want to connect with your intuition, use it, right? If you're driving and let's say like you're going the way that gets you to wherever it is you're going the fastest. There are other ways to get there, but you're going, the easiest, fastest route, right? Let's say you're going along and you get this nudge to turn left. And your immediate thought is like, oh, but if I go left, it's going to take me longer. Who cares? Go left, right? the only way to grow our intuition, the only way to hear it better, is if we fucking utilize it, is if we fucking take the action that it's giving us. If it's giving us guidance and we're just like, oh yeah, whatever, we're not going to be able to hear it as well. We're going to bypass it, right? So how can you take more action towards listening to your intuition? How can you take more action to connecting and growing and strengthening that connection you have to your intuition? Okay? So renew that connection to yourself, right? We spend so much time looking outside of us and reacting to things on the external reality, and not so much honing in on what's going on in our internal reality. And that's the thing. Our internal reality is what's actually creating what's happening outside of us. Your subconscious mind never makes you a liar. So if you believe that bad things always happen to you, your subconscious is like, oh, okay, so let me go to work for you. And I'll find all the reasons why that's true, because you're not a liar. That's how it works. So if you change, just flip those mindsets, those thoughts, those feelings, and instead focus on the good things, or focus on the outcome you actually want rather than the one that you don't, that's what you're going to create. Because that's the picture you're giving your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind processes things in pictures. So that's why when we say something like don't make a mess to our kids are more than likely going to make a mess, right? Because our subconscious mind doesn't process negations. So it doesn't hear, see, think about the don't make a mess is the picture you're painting. So when that happens, shift your words, shift your speech. Instead of saying don't make a mess, please keep things clean, right? Don't forget your keys. Remember your keys. Don't panic, right? Remain calm. So how can you remove those negations so that you are painting the picture that you want rather than what you don't want? Okay? So, that will be the third part of your homework. Get in and notice, journal about what it is that you say on a daily basis. If you're over here like, all these bad things are happening to me, how can you flip that script now? You know? So that's that. Reframe things. Reframe what's going on. If you're, really focusing, like I said, on the things that you don't want, on the outcomes that you don't want, you are actively creating those things. So how can you actively create what you do want? How can you start to put the picture out there that you do want, so that that is what you're creating in your reality? Right? So I hope you have a wonderful solstice. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.